Hello everyone, TheSkilledRoy here, back with another Legends of Runeterra video. With the first part of Bandle City expansion well underway, I thought I'd come by and talk about something I'm sure you're all excited for. Who's next? What's the next champion coming to Legends of Runeterra? Well, the answer is a little bit more complex than you might expect. Now, if you guys remember back when they revealed the most recent Legends of Runeterra roadmap, we actually aren't meant to get the next part of Bandle City expansion until December. So why am I making a video now? Well, let's address some possible oddities in this roadmap. You see, normally with each rank season, we generally get new cards. However, that's not the case for the upcoming rank season. For the first time since they started increasing the rate of their card releases, we are getting no new cards with the launch of a new season. This seems incredibly odd, given that every single step along the way during LOR's releases, they've only increased the number of card drops we receive. Instead of getting the cards though, in November, right after the new season starts, we are getting what they call a mega event. This is the first time they've ever emphasized the size of the event with us, and I can't help but point out that even the Ruination event we got recently was never advertised as being a mega event, despite it stretching out across multiple Riot games. If this event is meant to be mega, surely we should look to the other things going on in Riot to get a better idea of what it could be. So, let's see what else is happening. TFT Set 6 is scheduled to be starting in November, placing us directly in line with our TFT friends. So what's their Set 6 looking like?
As Reckoning draws to a close, the team is hard at work building the next set of TFT, which will release in early November for most regions. It will take place in a city full of strange new contraptions and their brilliant inventors, where you will find scientists and scholars, cops and robots, intricate machines and brutish monsters, mischief-making yordles, and so much more.
Well, thanks to their dev block in September, we know that the next set is all themed around Piltover and Zaun. This is a great first step for speculation. A new big set being released in another game all about PNZ. So, is there anything else happening for League in November that's also about PNZ? Oh, of course. That's right, it's Arcane. Arcane is the League of Legends animated show coming out all throughout November, and it's primed to bring us an in-depth look at the cities of Piltover and Zaun, as well as the origin stories for a variety of their respective champions. It seems that Jayce and Vi are two focus characters, but they also confirmed to see Caitlyn, Jayce, Victor, and hey, even Heimerdinger's there. Now, just to put things in perspective for everyone at home who might not think this is a big deal, just recently we got the Ruination event, which was roughly put together across 2 years, and we got a pretty sizable expansion of cards with it. Arcane, however, has been in development and progressing for 6 years, quite literally 3 times as long as the Ruination event. Now, we all know that Riot loves to attach new content themed together across each of their games. We shared the Spirit Blossom event, we shared the KDA event, and obviously just recently we shared the Sentinels of Light event. Riot is keen on ensuring that whenever a big event is happening in one of their games, you know it's happening across each and every one of their different games. So, with this in mind, I think it's fairly obvious that the event coming in November is going to be Arcane themed, with a focus on Piltover and Zaun. But what champions would we be getting? I find it hard to believe that we'd get a bunch of champions for one region at the same time, so I think we're either going to be getting one champion or some tangential champions who are perhaps from other regions but are briefly mentioned in Arcane. Let's look at what other champions that are in Arcane that might be able to come to LOR. Well, obviously we have Jinx from the base set of Legends of Runeterra, Vi from the Bilgewater set, Victor from the Targon set, and of course just recently Caitlyn coming with the first part of Bandle City. So it seems obvious. Jayce. He is surely the champion we'll be getting because he's the only champion left on the cast. The other characters, Mel, Vander, and Silco, are obviously not champions. And yet, I'm not satisfied with just saying it's going to be Jayce. You see, it's a very common theory right now that Vander is actually Warwick before he was experimented on by Singed. There are a lot of possible reasons for this, and I can't possibly go over every single one in this sort of short video, but the most obvious one to me was this. This is an in-game screenshot of Project Warwick's face, the first time we ever get to see the human face of Warwick. And bingo, from the hairline to the mutton chops to even the shaping of the eyebrows, the face has way too many similarities to not be Vander. Not to mention, we already know that Warwick has ties to Jinx, another character prominent in Arcane. From the latest trailers, we now know that Vander is also very close to the sisters, meaning there's a lot of crossover here for characters who look basically identical. This doesn't even go into the fact that a while back, Riot actually spoke about their very early builds of Legends of Runeterra. These builds actually featured Warwick, and he had this unique deck climbing mechanic. This means that even early on, Warwick was something that was on their minds, and it's entirely possible that he was being saved for this upcoming event. After all, the champions who were released outside the normal release schedule window tend to have dramatically unique mechanics. Let's look at Akshan or Aphelios, for example. So, there you have it. We have plenty of possible evidence showing that there's a huge event coming in November, right during the biggest piece of content that Riot has ever released outside of their games. Given that TFT is willing to devote an entire set to Piltover and Zaun, I think it's pretty likely that our mega event is going to be all about promoting Arcane as the first big animated show for Riot. So that begs the question though, is it going to be Jayce or is it going to be Warwick? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's one of the dudes on the hoverboards, who knows? I think overall, Jayce feels to me the most likely. He is outright advertised as Jayce, and unlike Vander, we have to remember that the series is going to start with Vander and not Warwick. The transformation will likely happen much later in the story after we get to know who Vander is. We know that Arcane is being split up into chunks, so it's entirely possible that by the time we get the LOR cards, Vander hasn't been changed into Warwick yet. So, by that account, I think it's Jayce. My dream, however, and this is very much a dream and not what I think is going to happen, I'd love it if on the episode Vander becomes Warwick, we get a bonus champion card for Warwick in LOR, coinciding on the same day as it happening. But unfortunately, that is it for me today. Thank you so much everyone for watching. If you guys have any theories or any sort of cool information you want to give me or anything you want to ask me, please come check out my Discord. I have a Discord. We all hang out there. We chat about the most recent leaks, the data mines, all sorts of theory crafting, all sorts of cool stuff. If you want to be on the forefront of my theories and see them shape up in real time, that's where you want to be. Of course, you want to see my awful takes on things, you can follow me on Twitter as well. And of course, if you like this video, please subscribe, please like, all that good YouTube stuff. Sorry, the algorithm, I gotta do it. You know I have to do it. I'm sorry, friends. But anyways, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Peace out.